This week on Camera Talk. No Dylan again. Wow, he's here. He's out there. He just doesn't want to come in here to do the intro. What the fuck? So, I'm doing this solo. But where are we going this week? We're going back to the motherland. Well, not my motherland, somebody's motherland. And where's that? Deutschland.
What the fuck is that?
Or for those who don't speak the language, otherwise known as Germany. Germany, the land of fun. The land of excitement. The land where everybody laughs.
Ha, ha, ha.
Or maybe not. But why are we going to Germany?
I don't know.
Well, because I want to talk about my favorite M camera. That's right. And what M camera is that? It's the M10. And why is the M10 my favorite? Well, I'm not going to tell you now.
What? No.
This is the intro. You have to watch later on to find out why it's my favorite. But anyway, why don't we find out together, right? So join me. Grab yourself something to eat or drink. Get yourself comfortable.
Drink the Kool-Aid.
Let's get it on.
Here I am, Vietnam. Rain is always coming down.
This is Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and his little co-host Dylan, who's outside watching some educational YouTube. Hey, no ask, no tell. All right, what are we looking at this week? Well, just as the intro says, I'm looking at my favorite Leica. It's not like I have 20 or 30 different Leicas, but the Leica brand has its reputation. There's those who love it.
I like you a lot.
Those who hate it.
I think I hate it.
And those who just go,
whoop-de-fucking-do!
whoopee-doo. Anyway, I'm from the camp that loves it.
That's weird.
I mean, I've been using Leica cameras for quite a few years now, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the experience. I enjoy the results. I enjoy talking about Leica. So what are we talking about this week, specifically, is my Leica M10. I have an M9.
Whatever.
That I started out with, and I've enjoyed it throughout the years, and I still do. You know, the Leica M9 is a CCD sensor versus a CMOS sensor. It's 18 megapixel versus 24 megapixel. It's purely rangefinder, the M9. You have to use the rangefinder to get it to work.
It actually really sucks.
The M10 is a hybrid. You can use the rangefinder, or you can use live view and get a through the lens experience. Either way, I enjoy both. But this week, I'm talking about my M10 and why it's my favorite. As I said, I really enjoy it. I enjoy using it. I enjoy the experience. I enjoy the sounds it makes.
You just ate the most acid I've ever seen anybody eat in my life.
I enjoy its little options. You name it, I enjoy it.
You go blind.
The one downside that I've had with this, it's rumored to be, weather resistant.
So, what are you trying to say?
It's got rubber gaskets, so they say, internally. You don't see any anywhere on here, especially around the lens mount. There's no rubber there. There's no rubber here. So, where that rubber weather sealing is, I don't know. I don't see it, but it's rumored to be there.
That's the fact.
Now I had an issue 2 years ago now where, I take this outside to like every camera. I take it out in various weather conditions, not, torrential downpours or anything. One, because I don't like to go out in that weather anyway. But I do like take it to the beach and whatnot. Take pictures of Dylan, like you take some great pictures with this thing. But 2 years ago, sitting in this very chair, well, not this chair, my old chair, I was playing around with the M10, and I was switching some lenses, and I think I put on my TT Artisan 50095. I was checking that out, and all of a sudden the screen, the back screen, went a little wonky. Little lines everywhere and whatnot. I thought, that's odd. But it's a digital device, so I thought, well, maybe it's just it's just not in the mood today. So I turned it off, turned it back on, same thing. Changed lenses, same thing. Changed the battery, same thing. Changed the SD card, CDs, living in the past. The SD card, same thing. Little funky lines, look like this. And I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I took it down to the local shop here in Ho Chi Minh City. It's called the Saigon Leica Boutique. And I took it down there. They took a look at it, tossed the lens on there, same thing. Well, nothing they could do about it because they're not a repair shop.
Well, fuck you.
So they had to send it to Singapore, which is about an hour and a half flight from Ho Chi Minh City here. And they came back with a report saying, yeah, it has to go to Germany.
Yay, Deutschland.
So off it went to Germany. Roughly about 6 months later, I received an email saying, yeah, the motherboard has to be replaced. The whole thing, done. So I was like, wow, how much is that going to cost me? It was like $1,600.
Get the fuck out of here.
There's a cheap repair for you. So I got it back, finally, and it's been great ever since. And the beauty of, I guess, the result of that is that because it has a brand new motherboard, and the motherboard is the brains of the whole digital experience, it was kind of like getting back a brand new camera. So even though it's $1,600, I'm like, well, since I spent $4 or $5 grand on it in the first place, it's just like giving it a rebirth kind of thing, a new extended life, hopefully. So was that caused by the weather sealing? Maybe a little ocean spray got in there because, I do stand in the waves, get some pictures of Dylan. Some people may say, oh, you're crazy taking your Leica out into the ocean. Good Lord. People take their Leicas all over the world, going to all kinds of places in Iceland and Patagonia and you name it, all kinds of really crappy conditions.
Back to you, Nancy.
So I'm not too worried about going to the beach, standing in water up to my knees, taking some pictures. But anyway, so that was the only downside of this whole experience. But what I do like about it, just to take a step back a second, this thing came out January 19th, 2017. So it's not a brand new camera, that's for sure. But it was a significant upgrade from its predecessor, which was the 240. Before that was the M9, the one I just mentioned, and before that was the M8. That's where the M8 was the birth of the digital M camera. But this thing, again, took a leap forward over the M9, changed from a CCD to a CMOS. Some people say the CCD is a better character or whatever. I don't know whether that's really true or not. I take some great pictures with my M9. Not that I'm a great photographer, but the results are great, I would say. The besides the sensor, it has a processor which they borrowed from the SL line. It's a Maestro 2.
Holy crap!
Processor, which again, the higher tech your device is, the better performance you get out of it. Also, the more digital it is, the more electronic it is, the more chance of things could go wrong with it. So
And now for something completely different.
there's the downside of that. It's it actually got a smaller body. The 240 had video capabilities, so it had speakers and microphones and other things. So the body was bigger, thicker than this one. So this went back to basics with the M body film camera size, everything. So it's for those who have like an M6 or an M2 or something. They can feel this and go, yeah, it feels just like my camera. Anyway, so that's something. It has Wi-Fi capabilities, so I can hook it up to my cell phone and transfer pictures off to my phone, which is kind of cool because then I can instantly post them somewhere if I want to. One of these people who I gotta have 150 likes by the end of the day. Post another one. Post another one.
That's suspicious.
Which is not me. I'm lucky if any of my photos get 10 likes, if that. And it's usually from my mom and my sister, and Anyway, wow. Wonder what happened to that video. What the girls are doing now. So, smaller battery than predecessors. Again, the battery itself is pretty cool. Its back menu, the back got more simplified. Only 3 buttons and a wheel, versus the predecessors again had 5 buttons and a wheel. The screen was smaller. This one's a little bigger, and it's got Gorilla Glass in case you want to jump up and down and smash the crap out of your M camera. At least the screen will take a beating. I don't recommend that you do that. But speaking of internally, the menu itself is much more simplified than the others, and it has a kind of a speed menu or a feature menu instead of going through page by page. I think there's only like 6 pages, if that. You have the main page, which you can program to put your most used features on that page, and you don't really have to go anywhere else. I like it. Has up here a magnifying button, so when you're looking live view through the back of the camera on the screen, you can hit the magnifier and it'll blow up your. Well, it won't blow it up, but it'll enlarge the view so you can see if you're getting more critical focus. It also allows for focus peaking on there. You can still use it as a rangefinder. Again, lining up the little rectangle to get yourself in focus as well. So it has that option to go either or. On top here, it has your shutter release going from bulb all the way through to 4,000 speed, and it has a dedicated ISO button over here, so it was the first camera to have that.
Whoop-de-doo!
And of course you have to pop it up to use it, and you can switch it from auto to manual to preset to 100 to all the way to 6400. On and off switch, and of course your shutter release up here. What else? Has hot shoe. I don't use flash photography, but I use the the VideoFlex too, again, as an electronic viewfinder, and it's pretty good. Same thing, especially if you're using the magnifier, you can enlarge your subject. You know, try for Dylan, try to get focused on his eye. Get that in focus, and then click, click, away you go. 5 frames per second, so it's not a speed demon, but M cameras aren't exactly meant for speed in the first place. Of course, you could zone focus with it, you know, preset your focus, click, click, you know, away you go with that. It has the typical Leica build. Magnesium alloy body with brass top, brass bottom, brass plate. What else can I say? Yeah, the CMOS sensor, again, 24 megapixel, which if I were going to upgrade my M10, and again, people go, oh, get an M11. M11, sound like Dylan, that's how he says 11, 11.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
You know, the 11 kind of in his own, it's playing a different game than the other M cameras before it. Yeah, I can talk about the M11. It is what it is, but I don't actually want one. I'm happy with the M10. As I say, if I'm going to upgrade from this, I would get the M10R. Only because it has 40 megapixel sensor, which allows more for cropping and things like that. Oh, my wife's texting me, sending me pictures of food. Isn't that nice? Showing off what she's eating, and I'm not. Thank you. Anyway, hopefully she brings some home for me. Threw off where I was talking about. Oh, the build. Yeah. Again, it's cool. It's heavy. You know, again, it's not a light camera. You definitely know you're holding it while you have it in your hand. Well, plus the lens I have on it too is also brass, so there's a lot of weight on here. But I like it. You know, and most Leica shooters are under the same impression I am that it's part of the experience to feel this in your hand. You feel the history. You feel you know, there's something substantial in your hand. That's what she said. You know, it's not like my Sony or my Panasonic over there, which they're metal, but they're plasticky and they're, you know, very modern. Even though this is modern, but it just has the feel of something from last century.
At least we're not fucking idiots.
Even though it's digital. Still. The ISO, you know, it ranges from 100 up to, what, 50,000 altogether. But obviously, I wouldn't recommend using it that high. At the top range, I'd say about 12,500. It's kind of where I would stop. Anywhere below that is, you're good to go. And that kind of covers the ISO range on the button itself here. Otherwise, you have to set it within the camera itself. I think that was, oh, my view, the actual view, the eye relief on it went from 0.68 to 0.73.
Holy shit.
So it's you know, it's better for the view. You can see more, and it has an LED internal light. As you can see, there's no window here on my M11 and the ones prior to that, where I had a light window in the front, so it lit up your viewfinder in here. And the I don't know if you ever wondered what the M stood for. See you real soon. M10, the M, like any M camera, stands for Messsucher.
Whatever.
Which is German for rangefinder. In case you ever wanted to know what the hell, why is it called an M camera? So it's a Messsucher. Other than that, it's pretty simple on there. Oh, hi, Dylan. You got something to show me? Are you going to show me something? No? You gonna show me a toy? Let's see. Still didn't have a toy? Let me see. What do you got there? What's that? You drinking your Yakult? Mmm, yummy. Probiotic milk supplements. If that's what you're coming in here to show me. But anyway, what else? What else do you have? What do you got there?
Wrench.
You have a wrench and
Side truck.
a fire truck. Oh, come here, show everybody. All right, everybody, here's Dylan. Say hi, everybody.
That is the That is the
Oh, what is that, like Slovenian?
Daddy.
What kind of language are you speaking, mister?
I want pee.
You want to pee?
Yes.
Oh, thanks for coming into camera talk to tell us you have to pee.
I want
All right, so leave that there.
pee, poop.
Break.
Pee, poop.
Pee and poop. Oh, well, good. All right. Oh, lucky you're off camera. I was going to say, don't take your pants off on camera talk. So we'll be back in a second. Okay. And we're back from the toilet trip. How exciting was that? So, to wrap up, I think that's kind of all I really wanted to say. Check my notes here. Oh, I guess the last thing, you know, because of the fact that it has live view capabilities, you know, through the lens features that you can technically, like I can, if I have an adapter, I can use any of these other lenses that I have up here. Obviously, there's no autofocus. If I use an autofocus lens, it's not going to work. But most of my lenses are vintage manual focus lenses anyway. So I can use my Riconons, I can use my Jupiters, I can use my Konicas and my Zeisses and everything else on my M camera here. But I also have, you know, 10 or 12 Leica lenses.
Oh, who cares?
So why would I use another one? But the option's there, this is all I'm saying. So anyway, that's why the M10 is my favorite. No plans for the M11. As I said, if I want an upgrade, I would do the M10R. But I also have an M9, so again, if I want, you know, the true rangefinder experience, then my M9 fits that bill quite nicely, actually. Same with the sound, just the sounds of these cameras, you know, is very, you know, it's just very cool. So anyhow, I think that was all I wanted to talk about with this M9. With this M9.
Shit happens.
It's like like people talking about the new Deluxe 8. As they're talking about it, they call it the Deluxe 7 over and over again because it was drilled in their head.
Let's talk a little bit of Deluxe 7 goodness.
Sure. Deluxe 8 goodness.
What did I say, 7?
You said 7.
That's a Freudian slip.
Same with M9, drilled in my head. The M10. Why the M10 is my favorite. For all the reasons I told you. 24 megapixels is plenty. You know, where do you really show off your photos? I mean, you can have them printed and blown up and whatnot. 24 megapixels is plenty for that. But where do most of us view photos? On here. On your cell phone. Little screen like that. 24 megapixels, plenty. 18 megapixels, plenty in that case. So why the M10 is my favorite is from what I just told you. It's an excellent camera.
Saying what you feel.
It's a great experience. You know, the only thing I've added to this is this extra hand grip on the side here. It's because the traditional M bodies don't have any kind of grips on them, so you have to kind of hold it tight.
It's how you use it.
But with a finger grip on here, you know, it's very easy one-handed operation in that regard. So anyhow, I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy with it, and I have no plans to get rid of it. Even if I were to upgrade, I don't know if I would sell this or trade it in for that M10R. I would probably want to keep it and just pay for the M10R. So anyway, that is that. What else can I tell you besides recommending that you get that? And I, as always, because of modesty photography, I recommend you get these used. You could probably find brand new ones out there, but get them used because it just saves you a boatload of money doing so. Some of them have pretty good, they hold their value pretty well. It's still saving you money though. And so somebody else has used it for a while. It's still just as good as a brand new one, minus the extra clicks that are on the thing. But other than that, as long as people haven't dropped it or abused it in any kind of way, nothing wrong with used equipment. Anyhow, how about a little plug for my photo editing software? Who do I use? I use Luminar. Now the latest greatest out there is called Luminar Neo. I also have Luminar AI and Luminar 3 or 4, I think 4 and then 3, I forget. I've been a Luminar fan for a while, so I bought all their different softwares they had out there. They have a new one coming out next month, I do believe. It's called Aperty. It's geared towards portrait photographers, which is my cup of tea, so I bought the early bird special.
Well, isn't that special?
And got a nicely discounted price. So can't wait to start using that. But anyway, what I use now is Luminar Neo. It's great, has all kinds of AI. And what's the benefit of that? Well, the fact that the AI does things for you in a much faster way, more efficient way, generally, than if you did it yourself.
This mission is too important for me to allow you to jeopardize it.
So, give you an example. There are features like spot and dust removal. So let's say you're down at the beach, which I shall be tomorrow, because we're going to Vung Tau, which is our closest beach community here. I have an apartment there too that I bought a few years ago.
$1 million.
So it's better than hotels. It's your own apartment, right? But Dylan's been asking me, Daddy, beach, beach. And I go, yeah, there's a 4-day weekend coming up, so we're going. And I plan on obviously using this and taking some photos. And just imagine you're down at the beach and, you know, Dylan and Mommy get sidetracked to go play badminton over in the side or go splash around in the water, leaving Daddy alone, unsupervised.
Toga! Toga!
And I noticed some hot babes. So I said to myself, that'd make a nice picture. So get some photos of those nice hot babes. Nobody knows any different. I save them. I don't even preview. Save them. Get home. When are we coming home? Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Depends on traffic. And I pull them up on my monitor. Make sure Mommy's not around. Dylan's too young to snitch on me, so it's no big deal. But I'd look at those hot babes, and my eyesight is not what it used to be, and they're not quite as hot as I thought they were. But not only that, if you look up in the sky, there's some spots in the background. And what are those spots? Are they birds? Looks like a flock of seagulls. No, I mean the bird seagulls. But there's these spots though. And, you know, I'm like, oh my God, what is it? It's the result of a dirty sensor. My sensor got dirty. That damn sea spray taking the lenses on and off, switching my Summilux 35 for a 50 Summilux to my 90 Summicron and whatever to get these shots. Got spots on my sensor. But I click on spot and dust removal, and the AI will analyze my photo, remove those spots, and leave the seagulls alone. Pretty cool, huh? And now my picture's looking cool again. But anyway, it also has a similar feature in the same tool, erase tool, called power line removal. And the same thing. You know, mommy, daddy, and Dylan are cruising through the streets of Rome. I see some old buildings that I'm taking photos of. Mommy and Dylan are tired of old buildings. When you've seen one, you've seen them all. But Daddy knows the history of Rome. And he sees these old buildings and he goes, yeah, the emperor used to live here. Take a picture of those. I get home, pull up on the monitor. Lo and behold, I was too excited about the building and didn't notice these power lines all through the picture. Damn me. Luminar to the rescue. Spot and dust removal. I click that button, it analyzes the photo, recognizes those power lines, and removes them for me. Yabba dabba doo. Yay! All right. And I can hang that sucker over my fireplace and life is good. So anyway, it has many other things. Sky replacement, which is nothing exciting. I mean, a lot of programs have that. But it has masking AI, where you want to mask certain things. You just click that button, and it will analyze your photo and mask what it, you know, if you want the subject masked, or you want the background masked, or you want whatever, it'll figure it out and mask it for you without you having to brush over the entire photo. Anyway, scene relighting, you know, if you want to subtly shift the light from one side to the other, it can do that for you. It has portrait AI, where it can blur out the background, or, you know, so many different things it can do. I'm not going to go through them all.
Oh, thank God.
But I recommend it. And why do I recommend it? Because it is economical. It's got all kinds of bells and whistles. If you buy it through my link below, it'll save you some money. So it's already economical, but it'll save you even more money if you buy it through my link. And what does it do with that money?
Talk it out, man.
Yeah, well, it gives it to me, so I can do that. But they're also in Ukraine, and everybody knows what's going on in Ukraine at the moment. Yeah, Uncle Vlad. So you're doing them a little favor by supporting them as they're being bombed and, you know, attacked by the Ruskies. So anyway, other than that, well, who are we? As I meant already, I'm Dr. Scott. He's the loud one out there is Dylan.
Here's Johnny.
And together we are all Modesty Photography. We're here to talk about tips and tricks about photography, vintage lenses, vintage cameras, camera stuff, photography stuff, techniques, things I like, things I don't like, Hey, whatever. Leave some comments below if you want to see something else. Maybe you want to talk about your favorite cookie or something. That's Dylan's topic. But anyway, actually he's into destroying things. Half the toys we buy him last maybe a day before he's got them in 3 or 4 different pieces. But anyhow, other than that, can I recommend it? Yes.
Yes.
Talking about the M10. Can I recommend Luminar? Yes. Talking about the software. Should you come back next week?
Yes!
I think you should. Why is that? Because you belong here. That's right, you belong here. And where do you belong? Well, this was Camera Talk with Dr. Scott and Dylan, who, now that he's finished pooping, he's outside having a great time. So can you support our channel as well?
Oh, yes.
I don't mean financially, but you know, how can you support us? You can subscribe. That's right. But I'm left-handed. Subscribe. That's right. And if Dylan were here, my left hand, his right hand, subscribe. And besides subscribers, what else does YouTube like? Well, besides that, everybody likes that too. Well, they like the thumbs up, right? And if you give us a thumbs up, we'll give you a little taste of Dylan's girlfriends, the Thumbs Up Girls. It's not their name. I just forget the name of their group, but I don't think I really forgot it. I don't think I ever knew it in the first place. But they're kind of cute, so I understand why Dylan likes them. But they have a little song that goes something like this. Thumbs up, do 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 do, thumbs up. That's right, thumbs up. Blonde one's kind of tempting there in the middle, isn't she? Dylan's favorite. So other than that, we do one of these every Friday. Remember, that's Friday Vietnam time, so that could be the day before you, the day after you, or the same day as you, depending on what funky time zone you're in. Make sure you come on back next week to check out our latest, because we talk about everything, right? So you never know what's coming up. So thank you for dropping by. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for just being you. And I think that that's about it. That's all I was thinking to say. So you're free to go. All right. Bye-bye.
Here I am,